Okay, thank you for staying with us on the show, TMI Monday. Of course, we get the conversations on right now, right here, and right away. Of course, the year 2020 with the conundrum of problems and challenges. What are our expectations for the year 2021? That's a major talking point. I'd like to thank our panelists on the show this beautiful Monday morning. Let me welcome very specially Pius Alile, founder of Pius Alile Coalition Initiative. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Good morning. Good morning, viewers. Good morning.
We also have with us in the studio Sir Adams Aliyu, lawyer, journalist, public relations consultant, and notary public, constitutional lawyer. Mr. Adams Aliyu, many thanks for coming on the program. Thank you for coming. Okay, the country is in a very precarious situation right now, and one man who has come out strong in the last couple of days to bring forth his views, opinions, and feelings about the state of affairs is Bishop Matthew Kukah. Well, reactions have been trailing the comments that he made about the insecurity in the country, about the state of affairs, the economy, on all of that. Let's get your take on the perspectives expressed by Matthew Kukah just on Christmas Day.
Yes, I've always said it very clearly that the issues we have in this country, they are beyond personalities. They are beyond those in the position of authority. We need to look at our institutions. There is no way you can bring about change without strong institutions. Our institutional frameworks, our institutions that we have across the country are very weak. And some of them does not even exist anymore. They only exist on paper. They don't do their job. People keep talking about nepotism. They keep talking about insecurity. We have institutions that are supposed to promote integration. We have the Federal Character Commission and the Code of Conduct Bureau. We have all these institutions, but they are not functioning. You see, and some of the issues they are beyond the capacity of individuals. But if institutions are there working and functioning, what they do is that they aid the capacity of those in position of authority. So these are some of the issues that are currently bedeviling us. I keep saying, until we strengthen and allow our institutions to function. Let's take an example. Let's take, for example, what happened in the United States of America recently, where President Donald Trump was saying that, oh, he won the election, and that as a matter of fact, the election was ruined. You understand what I mean? The institution said no. The electoral colleges, federal electoral colleges said no. The election was free and fair. Even his own attorney general said there was no evidence to that effect. Yeah. You understand what I mean? If Donald Trump was in Nigeria, Donald Trump would have remained as the president-elect, and even sworn in as the president. Then he would say, go to court and argue your case. You understand what I mean? Yeah. Because the institutions are weak. Institutions are weak. And until we find solutions to various institutions that we have set up, both in the area of defense, both in the area of security, in the area of economy, in this area of social structure, in every aspect of our national life. Yeah. And we continue to blame individuals and say, oh, we elected you to do this. We elected you to do that. We elected you are not being able to perform. The issue is not the individuals. The individual has something to bring, but he cannot do it alone. There are institutions in place, and that is where some people will come and tell you, oh, why is it that if our people go abroad, they do better, they comply with the rules, they comply with the laws, they do this right, and they come here, they join the bandwagon. The institution will whip you into line. You understand? It is the institution that shape personalities. You understand what I mean? And that is what the sociology call role learning. The institution will help you to achieve certain goals. Not when we begin to promote individuals and say individuals will do the magic, individuals will do the miracles. It is not going to be possible. We will continue to change the leaders. If we don't build our institutions, those leaders won't be able to perform, irrespective of the capacity of that leader.
Okay.
So it is imperative that we begin to look at our various institutions.
So you're saying,
yes,
that the challenges bedeviling the country right now,
yes,
is a product of weak institutions?
Absolutely. What we need,
yeah,
is institutional-led leadership. That's what we need.
Okay.
Institutional-led leadership is all we need, and that is the only way we can bring about effective, get effective results. It will not happen except we do that, and that is where advanced countries are better in their institutions, in their rule of law, in every aspect of what they do. They already have a structure that exists, irrespective of who is there, irrespective of who is elected, irrespective of who is appointed, irrespective of whoever occupies that position. The institutions, you can't tamper with it. You tamper with it, there will be trigger. Okay. So these are some of the issues that we are having. We keep talking about president, we keep talking about governors, we keep talking about individuals. Some of them lack the capacity because the institutions are weak.
Okay. Let me come to Sir Adam Saliu. Yeah. 2020 and the myriad of problems that has bedeviled this country. Would you subscribe to Paris thinking that this is the fallout of weak institution, or a lack of political will, or incapacity on the part of leadership to take decisive actions to deal with some of these issues?
Well, very well. The issue speaks for itself. We say we are looking at expect for 2021, because give and take, 2020 was not a good year, as my co-discussants have said. But we are optimists and patriots. What do we expect in the next few days when we enter a new year? To do justice to it, I will compartmentalize it in the area of politics, in the area of education, employment, economy. All these were promised by the present administration when they were campaigning. Let's look at politics. A big election is holding 2 weeks' time, in fact, January 10. Who leads the Igbos? Or Hanese in Digbo? They have election January 10. Right now, 5 contestants have emerged. There's no consensus at the bed. They are fighting themselves. Hanese in Digbo is the mouthpiece, the apex body of all Igbos. Whether all these Maso, Paipo, they are under Hanese. Just as you have Afenifene for the Southwest, Arewa Consultative for the Northwest. So, if they are able to have a leadership that will speak for them, they equally have a political event next year, 2021, Anambra. They are doing their election. They have a party, they said, ABGA, or Progressive Grand Alliance. The party zeroes round only Anambra State. And here are a people crying that it is their turn to be president, as if president is given or is by appointment. They hang on it that Southwest has produced Obasanjo, South has produced Jonathan. If so facto, if South is to produce, it is Southeast. But they are not in the mainstream of politics. ABGA will not get 1 vote in Northeast, Meduguri. Neither will they get 1 vote in Southwest.
You can't be so sure, Adam.
No, I know, but it is good for them to come to the mainstream. They are all zeroing on one party. I'm just talking politics.
Okay.
Then politically, 2021 is a decisive year. We will now know the contenders from the pretenders. Because 2022 is for campaign. The fact election is February of 2023. So this is the decisive year. So from political point of view, 2021 is very decisive. If you look at next year, students have been at home for almost a year. ASU we say 9 months, but I will call it a year. Academic year used to be even 8 months.
Okay.
And ASU has agreed to come back to work in January. But the other unions are saying that lecturers alone don't make university, that there are sweepers, there are cleaners, there are drivers. Those ones are under the umbrella of non-academic staff, senior staff, the National Association of Technology Academics. So, and that even if ASU is ready to teach with their chalk, they will close the door, close the window. They will not, I will not want them to do that. They are claiming that the 40 billion brought, federal government gave 75% to ASU, telling the rest of the university not to go and share 25. It may not be proportional, but the bend the hand is what turning the bush. Let them take what they are giving and be agitating instead of saying they will, if ASU is ready to teach, they too will close down. How many years will the students be at home? And we appeal to them. Our children are equally students, so education has suffered a lot, and I don't want 2021 to be a repeat performance, just as I want politics to be decisive. In the era of employment, our Minister of State for Labor, Festus Keyamo, told us that there will be 774,000 jobs to be given, spread out to 1,000 per local government area. Up till now, it has not got the primature or benediction of the National Assembly. So it is still hearsay, which is not good enough. If the young ones were employed, the NSAS demonstration that killed people, burnt houses, cars, wouldn't have been successful. So we want 2021 to bring a realization of the 774,000 promised jobs, 1,000 per local government area.
Okay. Thank you.
The role of economy.
Yes.
The central bank boss director Mefile told us a couple of days ago that Naira will fall again.
Yes, in February.
How many times will it fall? In 1980, 1 Naira used to be equal to $1. It has fallen. But we are being told now that the Naira, they are going to dig grave for the Naira and bury it to be what?
But nobody said that.
But
the CBN governor said the Naira will fall. He didn't say they will dig grave and bury it. He didn't say that. Say exactly the way it was said.
For it to fall again, they want to bury the Naira.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that. Okay, let me proceed that by Stamps and the CPN governor didn't say they will bury the Naira. He said the Naira will fall again. So who knows, some of the dynamics of the economy can actually work in favor of the Naira and then turn things around. Okay, all right. Let me come to Pius. The major talking point in the last couple of days has been comments from Bishop Hassan Kuka, who felt that leadership has not been strong in dealing with some peculiar, I won't say peculiar, some of the nagging problems that we've had, particularly insecurity. I'd like to get your take on this.
When you have a policy, we are not short of policies in this country.
Absolutely.
You understand? But what we don't have is enforcement power of those policies. You see, in developed countries, once they make policies, in 48 hours, the policies are already being implemented because there are institutions in place to implement these policies. They are already there. The politicians are to make policies, while the institutions are to implement those policies. And this is where, that is where you have the issues here. Now you have the president having meetings upon meetings with the defense chiefs, having meetings upon meetings with security chiefs, even governors having all various meetings. They'll be having meetings. Let us look at the security architecture. Are they strong enough? Are they empowered? Do they have enough resources to actually carry out those policies? So it's not about speaking grammar. It's about having the capacity to bring about the security that we have or that we are experiencing at the moment. So for me, I do not think we have capacity around our security architecture, and including those that are saddled with the responsibility of providing the security. I do not think that they have the capacity. They do not even have the weapons. They do not have the technology. And even in this country, it appears the criminals are smarter than the security agencies. And that is why you are having all these security issues.
If you say that, because we've had instances where the security agents, several instances where they've broken through in dealing with criminals. Yes.
We are overwhelmed.
No.
Can you travel from here to Abuja without, first of all, going on dry fasting? You try it. Travel from here by road to Abuja. and see if you will have rest of mind until you, even your wife and children will not have, they'll be praying for you to get there.
But even people travel on those routes. People travel on that road on a daily basis.
Because the rate of
travel on that on a daily basis.
of kidnapping on those roads, the rate of accidents, and there are a whole lot of issues around traveling, the bad roads. So we have a whole lot of issues traveling on by roads. You understand what I mean? So the insecurity is not about when you say yes, there are instances where the security agencies have been successful in arresting
several instances.
Okay. Yeah. But we have too many instances where security agencies have not been able. You understand what I mean? We have the issues of kidnapping almost on a daily basis in this country, almost on a daily basis. You understand? Even those that are notorious in kidnapping, they are still kidnapping today. We've not been able to find solutions to them. So what are we saying? So it is not about they've been able to capture one or two. No, it is about providing adequate security for the protection of lives and property. You need to feel safe when you are driving. You need to feel safe while you are at home. You need to feel safe when you are traveling. We are looking at the psychological aspect, the perception. It's not there. So these are some of the issues that we have. And let me tell you, it is not about the policy at all. We have meetings, we have policy, we have this. Our agencies are weak, either because they are underfunded, probably, or either because they do not have the facilities to carry out this job effectively, or either because they do not have the required technology to carry out, because we now have a sophisticated society with sophisticated criminality. It's all over the world. You understand what I mean? But research, security research, have helped most security agencies all over the world to outsmart criminality. We need to outsmart criminality. Our agencies need to outsmart criminality. Until we do that, it is not the issue of changing one police officer or changing one inspector general or changing security. It is the issue of the institutions. What have we done with those institutions? Have we put in enough resources? Not resources that they will steal. Have we put something in place to even check how those resources are being used? Do we have institutions? Do we have checks and balances? Do we have enough structure that dictates criminality, even within these security agencies? You see, so these are some of the things. Until we begin to strengthen these institutions through funding, through technology, through everything that is required. You look. Sometimes I want to make reference to civilized society because I've lived there many years, and sometimes I just laugh when people talk about. You see police. They will. You see them on top of their vehicles, expose themselves. Is that how you fight crime? They will carry gun as if like this. Expose themselves, and that is why they are so susceptible to armed robbery attack. They will just be driving with rickety vehicles here and there, dead vehicles with dead weapons. Meanwhile, the criminals have sophisticated weapons. How do you reconcile that? I'm asking. In advanced countries, in their vehicle, they can detect the owners of who is driving. They detect with your registration number. They detect who owns that vehicle. They detect if you have insurance. They don't need to stop you. They have technology to read the owners of that vehicle, to understand, to know who is driving, to know where the vehicle is going, to know if the vehicles have required documents. In their vehicles, they don't need to stop you. You understand what I mean? That is technology. Their vehicles have that enough technology to even detect crime, even while they are driving, even while they are patrolling and surveying everywhere. But ours is not like that. We don't have enough materials. They don't have enough materials to work.
Okay.
We must strengthen our police force. It's not about employing police numbers. It's not the numbers. It's the technology that they lack. It's the weapons that they lack. What is the sophistication of their weapon? The remuneration. For God's sake, a policeman earning 100,000 naira. Can you use 100,000 naira to buy for these days? Are you understand what I mean? Yeah. You see, even in remuneration, nothing. In equipment, nothing. You forget that these people are our brothers. They are our own people. They are human beings. And you want them to protect us when they cannot even protect themselves.
Okay,
so the most whatever institutions we have, they need to be strengthened.
Let me get
and funded.
Let me get Sir Adam Salu in here. Yeah, talking about security, because that seems to be the high point of the challenges of 2020. Even though it didn't start yesterday, we must admit that. It didn't start yesterday. It didn't even start the day before yesterday. It's been a nagging problem, even with the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. But there is, some opinion, some have said, well, the level of response at that time was even more forceful head-on compared to what we have today. So Adam Saleh, let me get your take on this.
Well, it is true that security is at its lowest ebb now, which ought not to be. The Constitution states, Section 14, sub 2, that security and welfare, they are the paramount reasons of government. If the people are not secure, what is the government doing there? And for the kidnapping, 2014, Chibok girls, over 400 of them were kidnapped. Not all of them
Can you
came
imagine?
back. 2016, Dapchi girls in Yobe, about 200 and something were kidnapped, some died, not all of them came back. 2020, Kankara boys were kidnapped. Well, few died, many came back. So now that life is becoming insecure, how do you want those youths to think of? They are in boarding schools, boys and girls, they are not taking on mass. So it is very worrisome that the security has failed. And as my co-contributor said, if you drive from here to Abuja, you are not sure of reaching there. People are there with lane vehicles, take you to the bush, go and bring money for ransom, etc., etc. The government itself, for today, lacks the willingness. Otherwise, it has the paraphernalia to happen. Some other president would have acted with due modesty. Obasanjo was the president. He put in a state of emergency in the Ekiti and Plateau when there seemed to be no security, when law and order had broken down. Although we're in democracy, those places were under military administration for some time. So the government need to take some sterner measures to deal with culprits and victims, to serve as deterrence to others. Now, the criminals, some say they are terrorists, some say they are bandits, by whatever name, they have taken over the government, which should not be. So it's a challenge to the government so that the security of life and property will be guaranteed. People are supposed to move freely, but now it is no more like that. So we are thinking too that 2021, there will be a change. Because it's only 2021 that we decide that will be an eye-opener to 2023 elections. Nigerians did not make a mistake by voting for their president. But the president looked lackadaisical, undecided over important issues. Whereas the welfare of the people is the supreme law, and therefore we should revisit it. We equally observe that maybe they don't have the materials, sophisticated paraphernalia to fight. If the criminals are able to get sophisticated weapons, is it government that is too poor that they cannot get area view gun to fight? So it's a challenge for the government. Unless
you said you're expectant that 2021 there will be a change. What are you hinging that expectation on against the background of how 2020 has been security-wise?
The present administration is aware.
Okay.
It's not blind. He's seeing all these things. People are crying. A man of God, a bishop, Brother Kuka, has said it all. And incidentally, Brother Kuka, Hassan Kuka is from the same part of the country with the president, so nobody can read into it. He said the facts are there. And I'm sure that 2021 will be better. We expect a brighter tomorrow, and the government will be alive to its responsibilities. If not, people will lose faith in the government and the system, or even the party. So let us be optimistic that 2021 policies will be decisive, that there will be no, that the fundamental human rights encapsulated in Chapter 4, Sections 33 to 46, right of movement, right of worship, right of employment, they will not be compromised as it is now. It's very unfortunate.
All right, Pius.
Yeah, well, my brother, let's be honest. I don't want to be pessimistic, but I want to say I've not seen anything on ground that will make 2021 better than 2020 in terms of security in this country. I've not seen anything on ground. You see, I need to see something on ground. I've not seen where the police have been, their policies have been rolled out to probably encourage the police. Have you seen the police vehicles? Have you seen, go to various divisions in the state, even across the state, go and look at their vehicles, go and look at their weapons, go and look at the facilities that they have. So when you are talking about change, who are going to enforce it? The institutions that are going to enforce those policies or those optimistic assertions, all those institutions, have they be well equipped to do that? In terms of technologies, you understand? In terms of machineries needed to fight crimes, are they there? Are they present? So that's why I keep saying those things are not there yet. I'm not saying. The only thing we hear is that they will employ more police. That is not the issue. Okay. That is the simplest. Okay,
but let me just remind you. If you're saying the personnel, the sophistry that is needed and all of that,
yes,
you recall there was a certain Evans, the kidnapper, who was very notorious in his activities, who was eventually brought down by the police. How did that happen if they didn't have the sophistry?
Let me tell you, Mr. Okosum, there is no security in this country. In a same country, responsible country, you think it's easy for you to kidnap 400 people at once? You don't have security in this country. You say 400 people, they will kidnap them at once. Where with that, in this world, you go to one country where that will happen. You kidnap 400 people, sometimes 600 people. Do you know what it means to kidnap 600 people? To even kidnap one person who is security conscious is even difficult. For you to kidnap 600 people, we are talking about the arrest of one man in a country. They use hold on. You have not been able to tell me how possible it is for bandits, armed robbers, kidnappers, how possible it is to kidnap 600 people. Or did you not hear that a few weeks ago they kidnapped 600 people?
And they were rescued.
Hold on now.
You're looking at the kidnap abduction aspect, but you're not talking about the rescue aspect.
This is not sufficient. Don't give credit to these people. It's not sufficient. It's not sufficient. Don't say because they arrested one person, they've been able to nip that in the blood. You say it's not sufficient. There is gross insecurity in this country. It's not sufficient at all. If you consider our huge resources, you consider what we have in this country, you consider the blessings that God has given to us, it is not sufficient at all. We are being kidnapped every day in this country. And you are saying that the arrest of one man is enough. No! I'm telling you, I have said the security apparatus that we have, they not perform up to 20%. They not perform up to 20%. If you consider what is going on in this country, they are not performing to 20%. So you cannot say because they arrested Evans, the criminal, or they arrested
the people you said were abducted, Pius, were rescued. They were rescued. They
go to the psychological trauma. Just imagine if your child was one of those 600 people. That few hours of incarceration, you will almost be dead before they are released. You know the psychological trauma. That 600 children will be kidnapped in a country where you have security agencies, no intelligence, nothing. They came, enter these facilities, carry these 600, move them into the bush without intervention. And you tell me there is a security. The one that we had last time, the what are they called? The one we have up to now, we've not recovered all of them. And it's still continuing. It's not about making that happen. This has to stop. No. It's still tomorrow. We are talking here now. Anything might also happen again tomorrow. I'm telling you, I've not seen anything that they have done. Honestly speaking,
are you prophet of doom?
Look, I am speaking facts and evidence. I don't want to be prophetic here, but I'm speaking facts and evidence. You tell me, Mr. Kosu, what you think they have done that is giving you assurance that 2021 will be better than 2020 in terms of security. You give me one or two things that you say, okay, this one will help to nip it. In this state, do you have CCTV camera anywhere? I'm asking, in this state, we don't have public CCTV camera. Something will happen now in Ugbo. Nothing. CCTV camera detect crime. Once a criminal knows that there is CCTV camera here, you know, once he's aware, he'll be careful whether to carry out any action or whether to carry out any criminality there, because the big father is watching. You understand what I'm saying? Now, in this Edo state as a whole, you show me in the road where there is one CCTV camera, even at Ring Road, where you have so many vehicles, where you have so many people, where you have one CCTV, a crime will be committed there. It will take the security agencies time and money to track these criminals down, because this facility that aids security, the security investigation, they are not even there. They are not there. Once there is a crime here and there is security camera, the security agencies have something to fall back on. And before you know it, they begin to show those that did that. They begin to show it on television. Okay. So look at this. Look at the person here. Look at the person. You need to have fast. Let me tell you, this thing is not. No, because this thing is not magic. It's not prayers. Let me tell you, fast and pray. It will work. We are not doing the right thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Forget all this talk. It will work. Let's do the right thing.
All right. Let me get Adam Sandi. Adam says. Yeah.
Right now,
yes,
I am optimistic that 2021 will change for the better. As a patriot, a clairvoyant, it's not good to be pessimist.
We are all patriots.
Or crying over painfully. The government is not adamant. It has ears. It has eyes. The last episode of the Kankara Boys even happened in the president's state.
Yeah.
So I'm sure with that there'll be no repeat.
We will be here again next year.
And
okay, let me just get you to react to this. Serap, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, Serap, has given a 7-day deadline to the federal government and governors over security votes. Is asking for an account of monies for security votes for the year 2020. Yes. Because let me get you to react to this.
Yes. Resources.
Yes.
Demanding accountability. They forget that there is exclusive list, there is concurrent list, there is residual list.
Yes.
The executive, as per section 305, has the exclusive rights over some actions. It is not if the president wants to do anything, he must put it in a referendum and seek suggestions. We come and vote yes or no before he does. So in the presidential system, as enunciated in section 305, the president can even declare a state of emergency and inform the House of Assembly. So Sarah itself, they want to join the bandwagon of wanting to be relevant. They want to be consulted before actions are taken. In the presidential system of government, everything is not in form of referendum or privacy. So when we tell them this 2021 is a decisive and peaceful year, they should not cock their guns. They should wait next time now we hear that they are organizing strike and lockdown. So the presidency, the government, whether states or local government, they are not fools. They themselves have relations who have been affected by lockdown, kidnapping, etc. And it is only good as patriots, as believers in democracy, that we should not take the law into our hand. We expect a bright tomorrow. All these evil devices, as I told you, other unions want to strike so that students don't go to school. It is appealable that they should tarry a while and let peace reign in the new year. 2020 was very turbulent and bad. So many lives were lost. We don't expect that in 2021.
Okay. Pius, Serap's inquiry is based on projections for 2021. Federal government, 36 state governors, let us know what you're spending on security vote for the year 2021 as a basis of citizens' engagement.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. That is what I have been saying just now. But that's what I was saying. You have security, governors collect on average 500 to 700 million monthly for security vote. And you are talking about exclusive list. Which exclusive list? You are giving money 700 million to do a job, to safeguard the lives and properties of those in your state. You should account for it. How would you spend that money? You understand what I'm saying? This is public money, for God's sake. It's not your money. You see, we shouldn't be justifying the unjustifiable. It is wrong. If you collect 700 million, justify you spent it.
To whom?
Because it should to the public. It's public money. For God's sake. You said to who? To the public.
Okay.
We are responsible to the people. I don't understand this. As far as I am concerned, that call is timely. Because as far, I keep saying that the security people are not equipped. They are not well funded. Then the monies are made available. Monies are made available, not that we don't have the money. You understand? A whole lot of fraud, criminalities going on until we direct the resources down to the security agencies who are supposed to do the job. Now, it is easy to blame the police. Very easy. It is easy to blame the soldiers, other security agencies. Very, very easy. But have we looked at their budget? Have we looked if those funds were released? Have we looked if those funds were expeditiously spent on those facilities or the personnel? Have we looked at it? We haven't. And that is what these people are saying, that they must give account. The 36 state governors, including the presidency, should give account of how they spend this money, because they are not safe. If so many resources have been dispensed and we are not safe, something is definitely not right. Things are not right at all. Okay. And until we spend this, you see, because the problem we have here is corruption. Let us not deceive ourselves. There's so much there is so much corruption. The system is prone to corruption. And that is why we are having all these issues. And you keep wondering, why is it that the government have not been able to nip this in the bud? Why is it that the government have not been able to do this? Why is it that the government have not been able to do that? But the government have released funds for this purpose. Where are all the funds? You will see a police, they don't even have a helicopter. They will kidnap people in the bush. The police cannot even comb the bush via the air. They can't. They don't even have the resources to do that. You see, there are a whole lot of things that are lacking in terms of the way and manner they should go about policing the state. We need more resources. We need more technology. We need more equipment. We need more facilities to be able to make this. It is not the numbers of policemen that matters. It is the equipment, the facilities, the funding that they need. That funding must get to them to be able to do this job. Until I see that, my brother, 2021 will not be better than this 2020. Until we see this improvement. You understand? Okay. See, and people are asking, you come on another account, and people are blaming them for saying that. How can you say that? When it is true that we are all hiding in our various homes. We are sleeping and our eyes are open. We are all afraid. And you are saying that they shouldn't account. They should account. The money belongs to the people. It doesn't belong to them at all.
If you show us to stay TMI Monday, I mean, x-raying some of the key issues that have dominated national discourse in the last 1 year as 2020 comes to a close, and then look at the expectations for 2021. Of course, it's not been rosy with all the issues that have been at the front burner security-wise. We're hoping that actions will be matched with words for results to come forth in dealing with these issues. But in dealing with these issues, some have advocated the need for us to resort to community policing, use of vigilantes, empower the vigilantes, equip the vigilantes to also complement the regular police. Let's get to take care, Adam Saliu. Yeah, you've come a long way on this part.
Yes. Point of view, every association is not allowed by the Constitution to be armed. Vigilante, where they are a pressure group, just as when we were in school, there were boys brigade, girls guide, etc. Sort of quasi-military association. By the time, although it is true that if you localize policemen, they will know the bad people in the area, be able to fight crimes. But I know the Nigerian instance, an example. By the time you give guns to vigilante, the governor will turn them to his bodyguard. He will use them during election, and he will use those vigilante people to fight the opponent. And as I said, the Constitution has not yet been repealed or amended, that every association, Girls Guide, Red Cross, Youth Wing should be carrying gun, unless you are licensed to. Even in America, some states allow free possession of gun, but it has to be registered. So I will not succumb to that, although they say the policeman in Benin who came from Sokoto will not be able to trace the thieves and hoodlums in Benin. It's better to take the local area. But we should ensure that they are not giving guns. They could misuse it. The governor will be paying their salaries. Today we have Nigerian police force. We don't have a Edo police force. So it's still a federal establishment. So let it be like that, but there should be proper training, and they should be well trained. And if possible, they should ensure that policemen that are posted here are from the geographical area. They know the nooks and crannies. It is not safe to begin to give every association, night watchmen, boys brigade, guns to carry about. We will not be safe.
Okay.
Yes, I agree with my co-discussant here. I agree with him in totality. This association can be part of intelligence gathering units.
But many of them are already functional.
Of our regular.
Many of them are functional in communities.
Of our regular
streets. Yes.
Yes, I'm not saying they shouldn't function.
Yes.
Let's look at the capacity in which they are functioning. My point is that they should function in the capacity of intelligence gathering for the regular police force, not in the area of enforcement of law and order. You understand? It's unconstitutional. It is wrong for them to be carrying guns. You understand? And very soon they will start misusing the gun. You will see what is going to happen in the next couple of months. You will see what is going to happen. Many of them are not even backed by law. You understand what I'm saying now? So these are some of the issues. The police can work with them. The police should be properly equipped, should be properly funded. The police, our regular police, can provide community policing by working with those in the community. You understand what I mean? And that is what is operational everywhere in the world. They can provide this community policing by identifying with community leaders and opinion leaders in various communities.
They know that people
they do
give information.
They do give information, and so that they can enforce it. So not to carry gun, untrained people that lack security intelligence. You understand what I'm saying? So it's extremely wrong. There is proliferation of weapons right now across the country because of this. Those who stole this.
As a fallout of this, we've seen the emergence of regional security networks, like we have in the south.
Many of them have been legitimized and backed by law.
Okay.
You understand?
Is it about the law, or is it about the capacity to deal with local security?
Do you know why laws are good?
No, I'm not saying laws are not good.
They are good because they put checks and balances.
Absolutely.
You understand? And they give legitimacy to whatever they do. But some of these associations in Benin now, nothing like that. They are just operating. You understand? And all in the name of enforcing the law and order. It is wrong. You see, they can assist and support the police, not to enforce law and order. So these are some of the issues that we are having. All those are Moteku and other regional, some of them have gone to their various states House of Assembly, and they have been legitimized. And because of that...
So are you calling for the legitimization of vigilantes in Edo State?
Because of that, they are funded by the government.
Yes.
You see it now. Yes, the government should recognize some of them, not all. You understand? Very few of them. And train them very seriously. Okay. And their roles must be clearly spelled out. You understand? And for me, I will advocate that they should not be carrying gun at all. At all. Their role should be part of intelligence gathering. The police and other regular security network agencies should be allowed to carry gun. Even in advanced countries, we have specialized robbery squad. Not all policemen carry gun. You understand? We have specialized squad, terrorism squad that goes with sophisticated weapons. You understand? These are the things that we need to deal with. A situation where you are traveling from Benin to Lagos, you see different kind of groups. Sometimes you don't even know who are armed robbers. You don't even know who are kidnappers. You are even afraid. You understand what I'm saying? That you see them on the road, they will just carry gun. So who are all this, for God's sake? They will say they are from a vigilante from one community, the other. What kind of a country is this? You understand? We need to address this.
Okay.
And address it properly.
Okay. Let me take a final word from Sir Adam Saliu. Yes. Looking at 2021, just around the corner, a few days away, you've expressed your optimism about the security situation in the country improving in 2021. I mean, that's the message of hope that you're giving.
Sure.
Yes, on all other fronts, I mean, the economy, governance question, and then, as is always the case, you've mentioned repeatedly that 2021 will determine 2023. That seems to be the regular way the average politician thinks. The next election. I want to do this at the detriment of governance.
Yes.
And changing the narratives about the economy for the benefit of the people. So Adam Saliu.
When you talk of the economy,
Yes.
there are workers. We are happy that workers are getting their salaries. Even the pensioners, they get their pensions. But the pensioners too have not been paid their gratuity. I'm thinking and hoping that by 2021, they will get their gratuity. Gratuity is different from pension. Gratuity is lump sum. It's normally in a few millions, not the monthly pension. So that 2021, if the economy rises, if the pensioners get their gratuity, and if there is security ameliorated, people will smile. And as I said, it's a determining year where we know the pretenders from the contenders. And because many will always be called, only few will be chosen in 2023.
Okay.
So let us seize the opportunity to make 2021 decisive. Workers get their pay. Those state governments have advertised. They are taking in new young boys for employment.
Yeah.
That is good. It should not be in only one's work. It should be regular. If the young men were employed, there would have been participation in NSAS.
Okay. All right. Pius.
Yes, we have not looked at the cause, the reasons behind all these insecurity issues. I have said it and I keep saying it. We don't have safety net in this country. Everybody is on his own. No safety net at all. There is no single benefit, social security benefit for the citizens. Those that are unemployed, it is not possible to provide job for everybody.
By the government.
By the government.
Yeah.
It's not possible. There's no place in the world where government provides jobs for everybody. But if they don't have job, there must be something that they should get from government to support them for the meantime until they get a job.
Okay.
There must be a safety net. There must be a safety net. There must be unemployment benefit. There must be elderly benefit. Disability benefits. There must be. And until we understand that the dignity of our people should matter to government, a situation where you leave army of unemployed youth,
Very dangerous.
it's dangerous.
Social welfare.
I look at it, sir. Even now, when they are in their NYSC, they get salary, they get stipends.
Yeah.
Immediately after that, they are faced with absolutely nothing.
They're faced with the reality.
The reality,
Yeah.
nothing. Even half of the NYSC money they are getting,
They don't get
they don't
anymore.
get. So there must be something. Various state government, various even the federal government must do, and that is what is obtainable in many advanced countries. And they have these resources. Go to education. We have students who are not supported through their education. A lot of parents, when it is time for school fees, you see high blood pressure going up here and there because no free education, no tuition fee, no support funds from the government to assist the students. My daughter just graduated from Wolverhampton University in the United Kingdom. We did not spend 1 penny. 1 penny we didn't spend because the government gives grants, the government gives loan, the government pays the tuition fee directly to the school. She has graduated and she has started to work and she has started to pay back the loan. Simple, very simple. But why is it that these things are not possible in this country? I keep imagining it. Sometimes I wonder if there is hell or if there is heaven. Sometimes I wonder because this place is hellfire. There are places that look like heaven on this planet. I am telling you, there are places that look like heaven. Here is hell. Until we begin to put on our thinking cap and do the right thing, we can't. We must stop this fraud. We This country is fraud. You understand?
No, you can't say this country is fraud.
This country
It's a country. Pastor Lila, we need to understand. We need to check that. You can't say this country is fraud. No, you can't say that.
Where are all the resources going to? I'm asking you now, all the resources, where are they? Where are the monies? I'm asking you.
Using paid salaries, constructing roads, building structures.
How many people are under government employment? I'm asking you. How many people are under government employment? How many?
We should be employing more.
I want to ask you a question, Mr. Kosun. When there was lockdown in this country, and there is going to be lockdown very soon, I want to know how.
The federal government said there's no lockdown.
The federal government said. You have been asking me questions.
Yes.
How much was given to ITV?
My job is to ask you questions.
Hold on. How much was given to ITV as palliative, as business interruption loan or business interruption grant? I'm asking you, as a private agency, and there are other private agencies across the state, how much was given to them, either as loan or as support funds, even when businesses have been closed down and locked down, either from federal government or from the state government? I'm asking, where are all this money going into? That is what I'm saying. Because I've stayed in a place where it is work, where monies are being given out to companies. Monies are being given out to small companies during lockdown. Monies are being given out to citizens during lockdown. Where are our money going to? You tell me. And when you ask for accountability, they are looking for you to shoot. I'm asking you a question.
All right, thank you. It's a rhetoric question that you're asking. You know that. Thank you. Well, that's it on our discussion segment from TMI Monday. Pastor Lee, thank you for coming on the program. Sir Adam Sali, thank you for coming on the program.